What's up, guys? Cars Geo 72 here at the KCE whiteboard, one of my favorite places in my house. We got a little bit of Generation X long math on the board here this morning, and we're going to just short video quick about how much does it cost to go to the track. Assumption is that you're using your street car. This is not a race car calculation here because that's a bit different. You get a GTI you want to go try out and see what it's about. Well, here's about what it will cost. Also, keep in mind some of this probably wouldn't be for your first event because you're probably just going to take your street car. Maybe you spend a few bucks on new brake fluid and some front pads, but overall, you're not going to spend much on the car. You're just going to go. But here we go. So I just did some math based on kind of like what I did this year, which was 8 days, but 5 events, assuming I had to travel for these events. Here we go. So I'm going to assume 3 sets of these pads I use, the front pads and the rear pads up to 2, and a set of tires. So your consumable items for me, and that $1,000 includes the install because I don't have a way to do that. $1,900. So $1,900. Your maintenance stuff, your oil, spark plugs, DSG, service, brake fluid, blah 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 blah. I'm just going to call it a zero because I don't really do anything different or that costs me anymore because a lot of this I'm getting at this point free from FCP Euro with their lifetime return guarantee, LRG. And for the little bits I spend, I would be spending it anyway. So I had $200. I just X'd it out. So you got $1,900 divided by 8. That's $237 a day just for the stuff. You're gonna have to pay the event fee. I just used $550 for an event. That's a typical 2-day event. So I just went $225 a day because a few of these are potentially single day events. So you got $225 a day just to go. Your insurance, because again, we're not talking about a race car. We're talking about a car for a lot of people they owe money on. So 175 to 200. Yeah, it depends on how much you want to make that policy for. I'm finding about $25,000 worth of coverage and a 10% deductible is about $175. An event, and it will vary based on track and club when you put that in at the Lockton or Haggerty site. Fuel's really expensive and you use a ton of it. At the track, it's about $5 a gallon, I'm thinking, for 93. So for me, that's a tank a day at $70 a day because you're getting like 6 miles per gallon. Your lodging, you got to stay somewhere. Now, I know some people would camp and do this. There'd be a camping fee at the track, but it's usually really inexpensive. I'm too old to be sleeping in tents at this point. I can afford $150 a night at a hotel or somewhere, Airbnb or something, to be fresh in the morning and not sore from sleeping on the ground. You got to eat. Most of the time, I just take snacks and snacky type food I eat during the day, but at some point, you're going to go walk over to the snack bar for a hamburger, but I don't know, $50 a day. So when you add all this up, all these numbers for me for a year to calculate a rate of day rate, did all this math, and I just rounded it up. $7,000 for me for this amount of days and events, and that's going to come out to about $875 a day all in. I love to do everything all in. So that's what it costs. It is not cheap. It's why I've never done this before because when I was younger, there's no way I had money to go and do something like this. But I mean, if you want to think about it, $875 a day. A lot of people go on a golf trip, guys ski trips. You're probably spending this anyway. So I would say it's comparable to a lot of other activities that folks do. But it is not an inexpensive hobby, and you're risking your car as you had insurance. It's a lot of labor to deal with all this crap, brake pad swaps and brake fluid changes and everything else. So it's a pretty intensive hobby, if you want to call it that. But this just puts some numbers to it. I have a friend that just did this, and I was like, I've never really calced it out. But yeah, $875 a day is what I get for my car. Again, a race car or something you buy dedicated to do the track would probably be a little bit less on the consumable side. The car would be much lighter than your street cars. It'd be gutted. You wouldn't be going through pads and stuff as often, or tires. Again, you can camp and save some money. You can bring your own food. You're kind of screwed on fuel. You would lose insurance if you had a dedicated shitbox race car. Your event fees are what they are. Maybe you want to help offset some of that and get good enough to be able to want to instruct. If you can do some instructing, that usually reduces that cost. But, you got to want to instruct. You shouldn't be instructing because you just want to get a discount. So anyway, there you go. Some math on the whiteboard for track events. Bye.